Imagine you're watching a pollinator visiting some flowers in a garden. Some of you might be thinking of a honeybee or a bumblebee buzzing around on a sunny day like today. Instead, I think of a colorful moth drinking nectar in the middle of the night. Almost everything that we know about pollination is on daytime pollinators, but pollination actually happens throughout all hours of the night as well. Many of you have likely heard the phrase, "save the bees." Scientists are concerned about pollinator declines and what this might mean for global ecosystems and for food security, as 1 in every 3 bites of food is the result of insect pollination. The issue is that we are keeping a large part of the story in the dark: nocturnal pollination. We can't effectively conserve and save all of these pollinators if we don't really know who all of those pollinators are. So what happens when the sun goes down, and which insects are doing the pollinating? Well, moths are the more diverse and abundant cousins of butterflies, but their evasive nocturnal behaviors make it difficult for us to fully understand their roles in ecosystems. Unlike bees, which actively collect pollen, moths incidentally pick it up as they feed on nectar, making them good candidates to be nocturnal pollinators. So for my master's research, I turned myself nocturnal, and I sampled moths at local berry farms in the Lower Mainland. The goal was to identify species that might be important pollinators, both for berry crops and also for wildflowers in these surrounding landscapes. Overall, we collected 1,515 moths using specialized light traps to attract them. We removed all of the pollen that they carried on their bodies and looked at it under the microscope, as this pollen can act as a receipt for the kinds of flowers that they have visited. To the surprise of many bee biologists, we found many moths carrying tons of pollen, some with even comparable amounts to bees. And in the end, I was able to identify several species that might be important pollinators for wildflowers, as well as, surprisingly, some species that might pollinate blueberries as well. Importantly, many of the species that I identified have never previously been recorded as pollinators ever before. This is the first study in BC and one of just a small handful in the country to even look at nocturnal pollination. So on one hand, this gives us important context for future pollination studies, but on the other, it highlights how little we might actually know about pollination in general. This study lays the essential groundwork for future research to look at what other nocturnal wildlife might be pollinating, as well as for us to gain a deeper understanding of how we can best conserve and support these important populations while we still have them. So the next time that you see a wildflower patch in your neighborhood, or the phrase, "save the bees," do the planet a favor and think of a moth.